Seattle's Mopop, the Museum of Pop Culture, wants to celebrate Harry Potter without celebrating the woman who created Harry Potter. Let's get to it in our segment, Unbelievable. Oh, for the love. So Mopop in Seattle is making international news for all the wrong reasons, in my opinion. And it's actually something that there was a blog post put out by Mopop way back in May, and I just don't think it really caught on until now. But Mopop has been featuring some kind of fantasy world displays, including a Harry Potter display. But as they made clear in a blog post that was written by a staffer who happens to be transgender, they're going to celebrate Harry Potter and feature the Wizarding World while absolutely scrubbing the display of any reference to J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books. Here's the article from the New York Post. Joy-sucking J.K. Rowling scrubbed from Museum of Pop Culture's Harry Potter exhibit. So look, J.K. Rowling has been the subject of what I think is really unhinged scrutiny for some time now. She is like the original TERF, because she dared to speak out against what she really feels like is the erasure of biological women when it comes to transgender women being able to, for instance, compete in women's sports. And so she's been called a transgender exclusionary radical feminist and has just been vilified even by some Harry Potter fans, again, in an incredibly unhinged way. And so here you have Mopop that wants to celebrate and feature a display of Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, but Chris Moore, who's a project manager at Mopop, he also happens to be transgender. He writes this blog post that went on to say why they are not going to have any mention of J.K. Rowling in this exhibit. The title of the blog post was "She Who Must Not Be Named." It went on to say her transphobic viewpoints are front and center these days, but we can't forget all the other ways that she's problematic. The support of anti-Semitic the support of anti-Semitic creators, the racial stereotypes that she used while creating characters, the incredibly white Wizarding World, the fat-shaming, the lack of LGBTQIA+ representation, the super chill outlook on the bigotry and othering of those who don't fit into the standard Wizarding World, and so much more. For the love of God. You have to try hard to be that offended by everything and by books written. Nicole, will you look up, when was the first Harry Potter book written? You find like the year where J.K. Rowling started to write Harry Potter, because wasn't she like homeless on a train, traveling across the world when she started to write it? So find that out for me, because I have a thought on that.
Looks like 97.
Yeah, 1997. And you're like canceling her in modern day for having views on issues that like weren't even relevant in 1997, for not having LGBTQIA+ representation like in her. It's the wildest stuff. So this guy goes on to write in the blog post, this certain person, they won't even say her name. They won't even say her name, is a bit too vocal with her super hateful and divisive views to be ignored. For the time being, the curators decided to remove any of her artifacts from this gallery to reduce her impact. Reduce her impact? She wrote the dang books. There wouldn't be a Harry Potter without J.K. Rowling. He goes on to write, it's not a perfect solution, but it's what we were able to do in the short term while determining long-term practices. How about you don't feature Harry Potter then? If you have so much hate toward the woman who created this universe that you obviously think enough of to feature in the museum, can't J.K. Rowling tell him, no, you can't feature Harry Potter in your museum? There must be some rights she has over Harry Potter stuff where she can say, no, if you're going to scrub my existence when I created this universe, that's unbelievable. And I'm not going to allow you to feature my stuff in your museum where you're going to charge people money for entrance to the exhibit. It's absolutely unhinged, ridiculous, unbelievable stuff, as is most of the controversy around J.K. Rowling in the first place. How people want Harry Potter without the creator of Harry Potter, who's been canceled for having the audacity to suggest that maybe for instance, transgender women shouldn't be allowed to compete in competitive sports against biological women. I mean, this is really unhinged stuff. I will never go to Mopop. I will never go to Mopop to support people who have that much unhinged hatred toward someone like J.K. Rowling. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And there was this other aspect of the response. I got to read this because it's just ridiculous. So the museum told the Telegraph in a statement, MoPop is proud to support our employees and unequivocally stands with non-binary and transgender communities. In an increasingly divided world, pop culture can unite, inspire, and spark important conversations. In an increasingly divided world, pop culture can unite, inspire, and spark important conversations. How are you helping with that? How are you using your pop culture museum to unite, to make sure that our world isn't so divided? When you have so much hate wrapped up in what you're doing, that you are going to feature Harry Potter while completely ignoring and, bashing and vilifying and demonizing the woman who created it. And you think that you're doing something to help the divides in our country? You think you're doing something to use pop culture to unite, inspire, and spark important conversations? Absolutely unbelievable.